All right, guys and gals, here we are on video 3 of our pre-onboarding series. The purpose of these 3 videos are to give you clarity on your pay, what to wear, what to expect your first day, your first week. Also to give you a little bit of information on what we're going to be training you on, some things and steps you can take to be prepared for that training. And then now on this third part, I want to talk to you about the 2 different ways that we sell roofs, insurance versus retail. Now guys, there is one thing on my notes here that I forgot to mention in our first video, and I want to go ahead and say it. We're all meeting together and we're all a part of this team to make a lot of money and to be successful at what we do. Show up your first day with a pen and paper, okay? Show up prepared to take notes, show up prepared to learn and absorb information, okay? Don't be that guy that takes notes on his iPhone. You do retain information better if you write it down. Plain and simple fact, okay? So bring a notepad and a pen. If you don't, that just tells us you're really not wanting to learn and you're showing up not prepared, okay? And again, I don't say that to be harsh, it's just being honest. I've trained a lot of people, and tell you right now, the people that retain most of the information are the ones that do write it down and take diligent notes, okay? So now let's dive into the insurance sale versus the retail sale. Now this could be a 3-hour long video, but it's not going to be. I'm gonna keep this as brief as I can and try and explain this in a clear way, but in a quick way, okay? So there's 2 types of roof sales. The insurance sale, the most predominant one that you'll hear in the industry, is a storm impacts an area, a hailstorm impacts an area, a zip code, a city, whatever it is, and you travel to go work there. Maybe it's right in your backyard. Maybe College Station gets hit with a hailstorm. I live 30 minutes from College Station, so maybe this is where I work, right? Hail impacted your area, all right? Then what you're doing is you're going in and you're knocking on doors and you're trying to, let me make sure this video is recording actually before I waste my own time. Okay, we're good. We're 2 minutes in. We can crop that out. Okay. You're targeting storm damage, meaning who is paying for the roof? The insurance company is. Insurance companies pay for sudden and accidental loss. Hail is sudden and it's accidental because it's not in our control, it's not in the homeowner's control, okay? Think of it this way. If you drive a 2004 Toyota Camry and it's got 350,000 miles on it and it's got a check engine light and you know it's about to poop out on you, are you gonna call State Farm and say, hey, I need a new car? No, that's not a sudden loss. Your car has deteriorated over time. It's not accidental. You have to wreck the car. Something has to happen to the car for the insurance to pay for it, okay? Just because your roof is old, decrepit, and deteriorated and has missing shingles doesn't mean your insurance is gonna pay for it. There has to be a sudden and accidental loss. So you have to understand what is sudden and accidental damage versus what isn't sudden and accidental damage. Okay, so is wood rot, if you have a leak in your roof, is that sudden and accidental? No, that happens over time. Wood rot is not sudden. Wood rot happens over time. So even if we are doing roofs that are impacted by hail and they have leaks in the attic, it's probably not from the hail. It's probably been going on for years. Insurance companies don't pay for wood rot. That's not sudden, okay? Now, if your shingles are so deteriorated down to that fiberglass layer and there's a hole in your shingle because of deterioration, that's not sudden or accidental. That's age and deterioration and neglect of your roof, okay? Hail is bruising on the shingle and a certain amount of it on every slope of the roof. That deems an approval for the insurance to pay for the roof. So you're targeting storm damage on an insurance sale, okay? Now, the insurance does not pay for rusted vents, improperly flashed chimneys, improperly installed shingles, poor ventilation. None of that is sudden or accidental. That all happened over time, or it's a result of a previous contractor's poor install. They pay for sudden and accidental, meaning hail strikes or a sudden weather event, okay? So that's the insurance sale. And that means the insurance is gonna foot the entire bill for the replacement most of the time, minus the homeowner's deductible. And so I'll explain it to you very plain and simple here. If the insurance says, hey, Timmy, your roof costs $20,000 to replace and we're gonna pay for the replacement. You have tons of hail damage. But Timmy, you have a $2,000 deductible. The total cost of replacement is 20 grand. You have a $2,000 deductible. So what happens? The insurance says, Timmy, we'll give you 18, you pay the 2, 18 plus 2 is 20 grand. That equals the full cost of the replacement. The deductible is always the homeowner's responsibility and the insurance pays the rest. So if Timmy had a 5 grand deductible and his roof was $20,000, the insurance would only give Timmy 15 to pay the contractor, and Timmy would have to pay the contractor the remaining 5, okay? So I hope that makes sense. It's pretty self-explanatory, nothing complex there. Think of it this way. If you went to the doctor and God forbid you need a heart surgery, you can go get a heart surgery from any doctor in the world, okay? And your deductible is $1,000. Are you gonna pick the doctor who does the heart surgery for 10 grand? Or are you gonna pick the doctor that does the heart surgery for $10,000? Or $100,000, sorry. It's been a long day. Are you gonna pick the doctor that does it for 10 grand or $100,000? Well, I want the $100,000 doctor. All I pay is $1,000. If I'm paying $1,000, why would I not want to get the best doctor? So it's the same with roofs. So the homeowner's out of pocket is set no matter who they choose. No matter what roofer they choose, they pay their deductible or their copay, just like at the doctor's office, okay? So whether that roof costs $20,000, $40,000, or $400,000, they just pay their deductible. That's it. So they need to pick a roofer who's ready to fight and knows the insurance process to get the insurance to pay them properly. Because I'll tell you something, the big part about the insurance process is 99% of the times, almost 100%, the insurance companies do not pay properly for these roofs and they leave out items or miss items necessary for a proper replacement. And that's where our education on the insurance process comes in. The roof in a hail damaged area is more of a formality, right? No matter what roofer the homeowner chooses, if there's legitimate damage, the roof is gonna get paid for. But it's about who's gonna slow the insurance company down and get them to pay for the gutters, who's gonna get them to pay for the downspouts, who's gonna get them to pay to restain the fence in the backyard, who's gonna get them to pay for that children's play place that got damaged by the hail, who's gonna get them to pay for that trampoline that has hail hits in it. The insurance doesn't just owe you for your roof, they owe you to bring your property back to pre-storm condition. Your property, not just your roof, okay? So, we're insurance consultants. We're experts on the insurance process. We're experts on the damage, okay? And we're here to point out all those damaged items to the insurance company. So every time, if you identify damage on a homeowner's roof, you're gonna call the homeowner's insurance company and the insurance is gonna send a representative or an adjuster out to that property. Now let me ask you something. How many of you have heard of insurance companies overpaying? Now, I can't hear your answer, but the general consensus is they don't overpay for shit, okay? They oftentimes drastically underpay, okay? They're a for-profit business and they're in the business of saving money, and they're oftentimes very multi-billion-dollar corporations. They don't do favors, okay? But if the damage is legitimate, they owe for it. So it's our job to point out everything on the property damaged. If an insurance representative comes out to a customer's property alone, without a contractor there representing the homeowner, do you think they're voluntarily gonna go pay for all the gutters? Do you think they're voluntarily gonna go look at the children's play place in the backyard and see if it got damaged? Do you think they're voluntarily gonna go look at the homeowner's Traeger grill and look at if his grill cover has dents or holes in it and if his grill's got a few dents in it? Do you think they're voluntarily gonna look at Miss Susan, the homeowner's flower pots, and see if the hail chipped it? Do you think they're voluntarily gonna pay for their outdoor patio furniture that's wood that got the hail, put some chips in the wood? No, but it's our job to point all of those items out, and that's why we teach you how to do a very thorough, detailed inspection. Because all those items that are non-roof related, the children's play place, the gutters, the downspouts, the grill, everything like that, that's money that the homeowner is owed, and we fight for them to get that money. Now, if the insurance company gives a homeowner $2,000 to replace all their gutters around the property, it's up to the homeowner if they want to do it or not. They could keep that $2,000 and use it to pay their deductible, okay? And that's legal. That's called using collateral damages to offset your deductible cost. Now, you can never pay a homeowner's deductible. That is a felony. You can't pay a portion of it. You can't help out with it. You can't pay any of it. That is a felony. We will never do business that way. But we will fight very hard, tooth and nail, to get a homeowner everything around their property that's damaged paid for properly by the insurance. That way they have the option. Maybe Miss Susan doesn't need a new Traeger grill. She says, you know what, that Traeger grill, even though it has 3 dents in it, it still looks and works perfectly fine. Even though the insurance gave me $500 for that grill, I'm gonna use that $500 to pay for my deductible. Maybe this hypothetical homeowner, Miss Susan, has a big 10 by 10 shed in her backyard, and the roof on that shed has hail damage. The insurance paid to re-roof the shed. They paid $3,000 to re-roof that shed, and Miss Susan has a $3,000 deductible. She says, well, Reed, you can't see the shed from the front yard. No one from the street can see the shed. Do we need to re-roof it? Miss Susan, no, we don't need to re-roof it. If you want to keep the $3,000 they gave you for the roof of your shed, use that for your deductible. Miss Susan's now getting a free roof. That's how we help these homeowners on the insurance side. Now, the alternative, the retail sale, okay? The retail sale, this is my favorite sale. Now, I started my career in roofing doing the insurance sale. I know it like the back of my hand. I've done it for many, many years. But I like the retail sale because it's quicker. It's a harder sale, but it's quicker. And you get paid quicker, and you can get paid a little bit more for it too. Let me get a sip of water. This is the last thing we're gonna cover, guys. The retail sale, and I'm gonna close this out and then we'll be done. So the retail sale is basically you are working in an area that was not impacted by a natural disaster or a sudden loss, meaning no hail hit, no windstorms, no nothing like that. You're just in an area with old roofs that have problems. And there are so many homes like this. And the cool thing is you're one of the only roofers that target these homes, and you're one of the only roofers coming into a company that knows how to properly sell retail roofs. I helped develop and design this process in Texas many years ago, and it's my favorite way to sell roofs. It's my bread and butter. Now, of course, if we get up on the roof and they have legitimate hail damage, we're gonna call the insurance company because the insurance pays for it. But there are so many homeowners in need who have old roofs that are leaking and need a lot of help, but don't have storm damage, so they're stuck having to pay out of pocket for it. The retail sale is a saving grace for a lot of homeowners, and they understand that. And it's such a fun sale. I love selling retail roofs. So keep in mind, you're not in an area that was impacted by hail. You're in an area that has not been hit with hail for a long time, and you have homeowners who have roofs that were built in the early to mid 2000s, and they're still stuck with those old roofs that are failing and letting water into the home, but they can't get their insurance to pay for it because there's no hail damage. No hail has hit them. So if you're familiar with the Houston area, we work a lot in Houston. That's a very big retail market. So is Utah. We sell retail in Austin, retail in College Station. You can sell retail anywhere, and this is your ticket to year-round work. You don't have to be dependent on a storm season. That's the beauty of this. Some of my best months selling roofs for my last 3 years of full-time sales were November, December. And we can explain why in person, but it's such a fun time to sell roofs. But anyway, and that's usually every other company's lull or slow season. That's why I mentioned that. But if you think to the Woodlands, Texas, I'm sure a lot of you that hear this video are familiar with the Woodlands, Texas. They have not been hit with legitimate hail in 20-something years. Big legitimate hail. Now they've been hit with pea-sized hail, not enough to really do damage. But there's thousands of houses out there that are $1 million homes, $800,000 homes with roofs that were built in 2003, 4, 5, 6, and they're 20 plus years old at this point in time, and they're just failing. And none of the homeowners can get the insurance to pay for it. Okay? So we're able to come in and offer these people a saving grace, and we're selling them roofs out of pocket or retail finance, meaning they can 0% finance them. We are very competitive on our pricing, but basically it's all in your ability to create urgency, make the homeowners understand they have a problem that needs to be solved and bring it to their attention, and figure out a price and payment that fits into their monthly budget or their cash budget. Okay? You'll be surprised on the retail side how many customers really do pay cash. I would say it's probably over 40%, getting close to 50% on the amount of customers that do pay cash. But the rest take advantage of financing. Most of the customers do the financing. We have a lot of options. And it's not like that roofer that goes, yeah, we have Hearth, we got financing, we can finance this. No, we have some really real plans that are competitive, that are beating banks on unsecured loans on the interest rates. We have 0% options. We have build the roof now, don't pay for a year. I mean, there's so many versatile options depending on what the family that you're helping, what do they need? What is their financial situation? Are they getting a big raise at work in the next year? Okay, are they about to get their tax return? Are they moving soon? Every customer has a different scenario. And if you try and sell them all the same solution, you're not selling. You're just hoping to throw shit at the wall and seeing if it sticks, right? Retail is truly tailor-fitting a solution specific to that family and that customer's needs, and it's so rewarding to do. It's such a fun sale. But no matter what market you work in, you're going to learn how to sell retail. It's your ticket to year-round work, not having to rely on storms. Because the thing is you never know when hailstorms are going to come. There could be 3 years in a row that your market doesn't get hit with hail, and most roofers are going to be shit out of luck traveling to other markets that did get hit with hail, sacrificing time with their families, sacrificing a whole season with their families to go work in a different state and live in a Airbnb with 6 other dudes. Like, that sounds terrible to me. Let's just learn how to sell retail, and we have consistent year-round work, and we're able to help people throughout the process. That's the best way to do it. And like I said, guys, you are one of the only people that know the true retail process. You'll hear people say they know retail, we sell retail, we got the script, we got this. They don't know retail. We know retail, and you're gonna learn retail, and it is unbelievable. It is the most rewarding sale, validating sale. The homeowners are truly just in shock by what we can offer them and the options that they have, not just on the payments, the options on the replacements and everything we can do for them. And so I'm really excited to dive into that with you guys. So closing us out, guys, Gracie and I, my wife, are very excited for you guys to be here. Gabby, who's been a huge part of this team, I'm sure you guys probably interviewed with her. She's probably already prepped us about you and your specific situation, and we're very excited to have you a part of the team. Your team leaders, our GMs, in whatever market you're joining us, I cannot thank you guys enough for wanting to come join our team. We've truly built a culture and an environment that I've seen people that really want to be a part of this team. And if you're on this call, you made it through the interview, whether you talk to Gabby, whether you talk to Grace or another recruiter, and you know, that's impressive in and of itself. Those gals are not easy to get past. We're really trying to hire the best of the best. And if you're on this call, that is you. And I'm very excited to meet you, shake your hands, and have some personal conversations with you guys and get to know you guys a little bit better. So guys, thank you very much. I hope that you watch these videos before you start, and they will provide you some information that'll make you a little more prepared your first day. Really quick, we went over dress code. If you don't remember, go watch that video again. Show up with a notepad. And guys, I can't stress this enough. Do not be late. That's the biggest pet peeve of mine, is late. If you have a problem with punctuality, solve that problem immediately. I really don't ever get mad. I never get frustrated, but the number one way to get under my skin and frustrate me is disrespect my time, and that's by being late. And again, I don't say this to be harsh. I just want to be honest and upfront. Punctuality is a sign of respect, and I will never be late for you guys. Your team leaders will never be late for you guys. None of us will be late for y'all, and we expect that to be reciprocated. And if it's not, this isn't going to work out, okay? Being on time is critical. And you have to understand, if you're looking to come into this company and be an A player and make a lot of money, you should probably question who you're working for if they allow people to show up late and they allow that in their culture. Like I told you, this is a team of A players, high achievers who want to be better. It is my responsibility to protect that culture and protect who comes into the door and keep people who are not fitting our core values out of the company, because it's a detriment to the company. And so I'm telling you right now, the number one way to fit in here is show up on time and be punctual. That's the best start you could possibly have. That's the best start you can have. We work in some cities that have some of the worst traffic in the nation, okay? Probably in the world. Houston, terrible, okay? Austin, terrible traffic, okay? Prep for it, okay? We all have to deal with it. Be on time, leave early, account for it, make sure your car is filled with gas the night ahead. Whatever you need to do, be on time. Really quick, I can never be mad at someone for being late if I don't clarify what on time means to me. A lot of us, whether you're on this call or whether you've worked at different jobs in the past, on time means something different to a lot of people, and you'll learn that over the years. Sometimes on time means right on time to certain people, and on time to certain people means 15 minutes early. For me, that's me. That's the way I was raised, is you're on time if you're 15 minutes early and ready to roll. So your onboarding is going to start at 10 a.m. on a Monday. And so what that means is you've already gone to the bathroom, you're in your seat, you have your pen open, you're ready to take notes come 10 a.m. You already got your coffee. If you're still in the bathroom at 10 a.m., you're in the kitchen at 10 a.m. getting your coffee, you're in the break room, you're doing whatever at 10 a.m., you are not on time. That is 100% late. Sitting there, ready to take notes and ready to do what you need to do at 10 a.m., that is on time, okay? So I advise be punctual. I don't tolerate it. Your GMs and team leaders won't tolerate it. And I hope you don't tolerate that from yourself either, and you hold yourself to a higher standard than to be late. Okay, guys? It is within your full control to be on time. So, with that being said, we are excited to see you, and we're excited for you to be one of our top performers and be a part of this high-performing team. Thank you, guys. 6:37.
How long was that one?